Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, May 11th, 1 a.m. Mountain Time 2019. As the rain water equivalent continues to pile up over the continental U.S., we can see that planting could be stunted. Now, many of these regions where there is epic moisture, you cannot plant with this type of rain falling in the 5 to 6 inch range, especially in the Midwest. Not to mention these higher totals here are high mountain snow, which is continuing to pile up into summer. What a bummer. But we have some more heavy snow coming in mid-May through the Northeast, including Vermont and New Hampshire, as well as the high elevations of the Adirondacks, and more snow in Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana predicted, as well as high Sierra snow. The snow is going to continue to move through the season, a season for the reason. Keep calm, it is boom time. Cosmic rays on the increase. Torrential rain in Houston leaves roads flooded and schools closed. Dab-worthy. Houston area schools were closed Friday. Utilities scrambled to remedy 37,000 power outages, and suburban police captured a 5-foot alligator swimming in a puddle after a torrential storm pummeled the area with rain and hail Thursday night. It was a fright. The National Weather Service issued flood warnings for several areas Friday morning, and flash flood watch remains in place through southeast Texas. Heads up, 7 a.m. Saturday, Houston and Galveston will potentially experience thunderstorms and heavy rain Friday into Saturday before drier conditions set up Sunday, which could be your fun day. There's the radar update just coming moments ago. There we are live. That's us, kids. Schools closed in water-soaked Houston as serious flooding continues for 20 million. That's a bummer. It's a bummer because it ain't summer. Heavy rain and flooding forced schools to close in the Houston area Friday after an overnight deluge swamped the nation's fourth largest city. The sodden city was the epicenter of a sprawling storm system that brought soaking rain to much of Texas. Holy Mexis. Do I need to move this? Maybe a little to the... Let's just move that over there. There we go. The Houston Fire Department, which filed more than 75 water-related calls late Thursday, urged motorists Friday to stay off the roads like they were toads filled with loads of boats. Incredible drone footage shows severe flooding, and I can't look at the screen unless I do it right. At Camp Sienna and Sienna Plantation in Texas, that looks like a lot of water. Inches of heavy rain, golf ball-sized hail, and severe lightning and thunder rocked Greater Houston Thursday night into Friday morning, leaving some drivers stranded and roads inundated for hours. Hours of powers. Readers submitted drone footage shows scenes from Camp Sienna and Sienna Plantation, which is where people picked the cotton or something like that. There it is. Flooded. Not a single home. Is that fear-mongering? Denver weather, the deluge of rain and snow is now over! Like a plover. Like a clover, plover, jover. The past week has been wet and cold. Many neighborhoods have seen more than 1 inch of rain, at least 1 inch of snow on the grass, and temperatures staying far below normal for May. There's even an X in the sky. Holy shit. Let's look at that. That's like Terminator X. I need a day off. Here we come, Washington Post. The biggest rag on the planet, nearly 11 inches of snow just plastered Duluth, Minnesota. Shattering the May records. Records that have stood for years and decades and millennia. A May storm plastered parts of the upper Midwest on Wednesday, dropping as much as 11 inches of snow on people that aren't expecting that. The swath of heavy and wet spread snow. Ow, shut up! Get in your hole. He's trying to say something. A swath of heavy wet snow spread from Minnesota border with South Dakota and Minnesota and the Great Lakes. The epicenter was around Duluth, where they got buried. In northern Minnesota, where 10.9 inches of snowfall set multiple records for May, forever, all time. The responsible storm is the same one that spawned severe weather and flooding in parts of southern U.S. At the same time, this wintry storm happened to be the heart of spring, encountered just enough cold air to manufacture record-breaking heavy snowfall. Temperatures rose near 40 in Duluth, but that didn't stop them from breaking records set way back in 1924, 1902. Are you kidding me? The single snowiest day in May, 8.3 inches. May 8th. May's monthly snowfall total, 10.9. Breaking the 8.1 inch back in 1954. So we're back to the centennial minimum and other solar minimums that we can track. By the time the flakes stop accumulating Thursday morning, at least 10.9 inches of dense, wet snow were recorded for the city of Duluth. That's epic. And there are flowers popping, which are not going to be stopping, unless they're frozen. Let's check out some of the totals. Mile Canyon, Colorado, 2 inches. Aguilar, 3.5. This is from the storm that just came through, and there's another storm happening right now. Holy cow. 18 inches in Angel Fire, New Mexico. 22 was their total, setting the record back to 1880 since records capped. Arroyo Seco, New Mexico, picked up 10. And Aspen Park, Colorado, 4.5. And those are just the totals through the 9th. It's the 10th, kids. The 10th. We love the 10th. And that's tonight's first boom, because we love the supernova boom. We know how to do it. We do it in style, and we do it single file. Buffalo News. May snow flies across all over the U.S., just not in Buffalo. Say it ain't so. Buffalo already has the biggest 2018-2019 big city snow title in the bag, so it must be resting some snowflakes until next season. You know who didn't rest snowflakes? How about CU Boulder? From the awesome snowmensment ceremony. Oh, we're not even going to blow that up. It snowed for the commencement there in CU Boulder. More than 10 inches of snow, replete with thunder, scattered late-season snowfall records in Duluth. We just told you about that. And guess where the biggest snowfalls this week were? Try New Mexico at 22 inches. In Angel Fire, which is not a funeral pyre, it's a place. And it's not loading. But we're goading. We're trying to make it load. Do it. Load it up. Do it. Do it now. Do a dab. We'll get to it. No, we won't. We just erased it. Let's check out the total GFS snowfall for the North America. Well, the continental you know what I'm saying. The U.S., damn it. If you live in the U.S., you want to see this. Heavy snow in the mountains east of the continental divide, or west of the continental divide. We have some snow picking up in Maine, down through Vermont, New Hampshire, the biggest winters, as well as the high Dacks. And they're still picking up snow in south central Arizona. When is that pocket coming? Right there. This week. Holy tweak. Boom. That's looking this weekend. That's your Saturday, which is Saturday here. And this heavy snow, or this is the snow water equivalent. This is total accumulated precipitation moving through May 27th, the end of the month. Heavy rain predicted up to 4 to 6 inches at over 50% of the U.S. It's going to be moist, which means good growth in the gardens. Unless you live in the East Coast, that's going to mean hellish, powdery mildew, mold, and other things that you need to mitigate. Lake Oroville sitting at 888.5, a dozen feet or so below the spillway level is good news. There's no heavy precipitation predicted through the end of May. Inflow and outflow is remaining pretty constant, which means they're going to be filling this up to the very tippy top, another 10 or 12 feet to go as the spring snowmelt occurs. No catastrophe happening anytime soon, kids. Unfortunately, I know you want it, but not at Oroville. 5.0 New Caledonia kicking off in the last half an hour, as well as a 4.5 in La Esperance Rock at a deep depth, so we can see a recapitulation of the south. We're going to be watching this closely. Slight uptick on the west coast of the U.S. Nothing significant. No other quakes of note. Worldwide volcano news update. Krakatoa, Dukono, Reventador, Sangay, Sakolejima, Sabancaya. Gonna fly at Krakatoa, some intermittent ash, but check out Sabancaya blowing to 26,000 feet. That's 5 miles plus. 5 miles plus. 11 minutes, 20 seconds in. LeakCon less than 7 days away. Are you preparing? Space weather news. These spots have gone silent. It's solar minimum. It's what we expect, and they've died out. There's little minor effects coming towards the Earth now. Maybe some of these earlier high C flares hitting us and bringing us up to KP5 live as we talk. There was some perturbation in the magnetometer I was aware of, as well as electron flux when I started. But most importantly, check out the aurora. If you're in Canada, Central Canada, Eastern Canada, Northeastern Canada, go outside and look up. That aurora is lighting up the skies. May even tip down into Minnesota tonight in the 3 to 4 a.m. time frame. So get out there and look up. There should be no blackouts, but we can't call it. When we get up into KP5 or higher, anything is possible, and we're there. So we're in the lowest level geomagnetic storm possible, and it's probably associated with this outburst earlier, 3 days ago, from the sun. And there are multiple other C flares coming our way, so we're going to keep a close eye on it as the sun goes dead and these spots face Earth. They get shut down. Downtown. Leroy Brown, that's boom. No boom time for you, kids. Keep calm. New water cycle on Mars discovered May 10th, 2019. Approximately every 2 Earth years, when it's summer on the southern hemisphere of Mars, a window opens. Only in this season can water vapor efficiently rise from the lower into the upper Martian atmosphere, and us to record it. And a new water cycle has been discovered on Mars. Breaking news! There it is, summer solstice. The water comes up, baby. When it's summer, the southern hemisphere, at certain times of day, water vapor can rise locally with warmer air masses and reach the upper atmosphere, which is leading many people to believe that they could actually grow crops on Mars. That's after they die from cosmic ray flux. I just love it when I harvest. I never get to harvest because my hair falls out. Extinct species of bird came back from the dead, scientists find. Look at that beauty. That's a beautiful bird. The white-throated rail colonized the Aldabra Atoll in the Indian Ocean twice, and it's been extinct that many times. A previously extinct species of bird has returned from the dead, reclaiming the island, previously lived in it, and re-evolved itself back into existence, scientists have said. That's what they said. The bird re-evolved itself into existence. Like a supernova boom. Maybe it was a micronova. The extremely rare process is known as iterative evolution, the repetitive evolution of a species from the same ancestor at different times in history, which is a mystery, but not when cosmic ray flux is increasing. Not at all. Not while autism is increasing and Greg Wynn is coming to kill me. Not at all. Cosmic rays are to blame for many things, including North Dakota quietly decriminalizing marijuana. They don't want anybody to know. The state is the 25th out of 50 to decriminalize or legalize cannabis. I know. We must all be going crazy. The safest plant on earth you are actually allowed to use. Oh my God. Let's go back over that. North Dakota has quietly allowed the use of the safest plant on earth. Oh my God. Thank you. Whatever Dakota. North Dakota quietly decriminalized marijuana earlier in the month, making it the 25th state to do so. Holy schmackaroni. Did you hear about NASA? Yeah, they're going to aim a dart at a target asteroid in the upcoming deflection test. Nudging this asteroid will give valuable clues for how we will survive the apocalyptic flyby of a giant asteroid in our near future. Telescopes and spacecraft are already watching the skies for potentially hazardous asteroids. In fact, we've discovered hundreds of thousands of them in the last 2 decades. And we now know that we're totally fluxed and that the inevitability of an object hitting us is inevitable. So now they're going to try to shoot a dart, basically a large object the size of a van, into an asteroid and see what happens. The upcoming mission, called Double Asteroid Redirection Test, aka DART, will send a spacecraft to crash into an object typically the size of those asteroids that could pose a threat to Earth, according to NASA. Almost 1/6 of the known Earth asteroids, NEAs, are multiple body or binary systems. And if you need to know more information, you can listen to it here while you do a dab. DART! The overall goal of the mission, which is not a shart, is a dart, will conduct its crash tests in about 2 years, if we make it that far. Thank you, Los Alamos. We're closing you up now. I'm back. Better than ever. Let's finish this up. 18 minutes, 39 seconds in, and guess what France does? It asks if you can solve the riddle of the rock. And you can, well, here's the rock. And let's blow it up. Yes, something is encoded in there. Are you looking at it? Or are you looking at me? What are you looking at? A village in western France is offering 2,000 euros, which is 1,726 pounds, as the date of this article, for help in deciphering the 230-year-old inscription found on a rock in a remote beach. Until now, no one has been able to make any sense of the meaning of the 20 lines of writing discovered a few years ago. However, the meter-high slab is in a cove, accessible only when the low tide near the Brittany village of Plougastelle occurs. Among the normal French letters, some are reversed or upside down, and there are also some Scandinavian-style zeros with a scratch-through letter. 2 years are visible, 1786 and 1789. Dalton minimum much, dating the inscription to a few years before the French Revolution. There is also the image of a ship with sails and a rudder. and a sacred heart. Oh my God. The Vatican was in control back then too, and this prick is probably a member. Can you decipher the rock? It's worth a couple €1,000. 2,000 euros. That's like fucking shit money. Grand Solar Minimum's Crazy Canuck could use that money. 1,599 subscribers. Let's get him to 16,001. That means two of you pricks got to wake up, push this button. I already did it. You know what he did? Holy shit. He transplanted chives and did a whole bunch of other stuff, and his last video is not even up here. Which is why I'm really upset, because he did a thermal mass video, which is now missing. There it is. Greenhouse heat update number 47. Come check it out on the Grand Solar Minimum's Crazy Canuck. Number 47. There it is. And the powers that be do not want you to see this. Now, this guy found some thermometers, some heaters, some aquarium heaters, and he started heating the buckets up in, we can't play this because we'll be demonetized, Canuck. So let's move that quickly through there.
This is the following morning. We got down to minus 5 Celsius last night.
It's dab-worthy.
It's presently 0 degrees Celsius. I just uncovered all the bedding plants in the greenhouse, and everybody is happy. The current temperature in the greenhouse is just over 11 degrees. Now, if you check the temperature of the water in the pails,
it's boom time. He made it happen. He used some aquarium heaters and a couple of buckets, and you can all suck it, because we're getting down to brass tacks on how minimalistic it is to actually create your own geothermal heat, create heat. This is thermal mass energy is creating through a more efficient method than actually forcing hot air. Most farmers in the spring, when they're planting, and especially in this region, we use propane, forced heat, and we just heat up the greenhouse. Positive pressure, keep it warm. We turn it on when the sun sets, we turn it off when the sun rises. That's BS. All you have to do is heat the water. Now, this water is going to take hours to transpire, and the thermodynamics is much better in the system, and it only requires you heating up some buckets with some aquarium heaters. You can do this with the solar system. So this is a brand new breakthrough in technology that we're going to be delving into. Check out his results in number 47 here over at the Grand Solar Minimum's Crazy Canuck. And if you want to know more, in 6 days and 17 hours, we're going to be at the meet and greet at the Denver Marriott Tech Center in Colorado. Laird Scranton, John D'Souza, Rex Bear, Diamond. We're going to have a Christian Westbrook, David Dubine, Greg Allison from NASA, Adrian D'Amico, Suspect Sky, Greg Long, his partner in crime, going to be talking about magic numbers. Will you be there? If you can't be there, you could be exclusive purveyors of LeakCon2019 live stream. Just click on the virtual ticket and get it. Now, if you click the virtual ticket, I promise you, you will get all the video on demand of all the talks forever. No one else will get it unless you buy the live stream. Ever. I promise you. Not only that, you're going to be getting exclusive content to the only live stream camera, which will probably turn on during the meet and greet in just 6 days and 17 hours and 44 minutes and 42 seconds. If we can figure it out in time. We have time. We have 6 days, 17 hours, 44 minutes, and 35 seconds, which is how many days you have to click now and buy the live stream. Just do it. Just click it. That's all I'll say. Now, while people in schools are being indoctrinated by science that's not really science, but more like science fiction, we're going to be talking about the facts. We're going to be talking about the micronova outburst. We're going to be talking about surviving and thriving in the future. We're going to be talking about the ruse that is the CIA and your life. The slave model. You're an indentured servant. Nothing more. If you think you're anything less, then you're not thinking. Think about how many hours you waste making enough money to exist. And then think about how you could maybe rethink that model to become more sustainable, growing more of your own food, taking care of more of your own waste. When the grid fails, over 90% of the population will be incapable of providing for themselves. So you either have to kill them or help them. These are the facts. We're not here to scare you. We're here to prepare you. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance if you're not coming to LeakCon. You can get the live stream. We love each and every one of you. Thanks to all of our Patreons, all of our one-time donors. Thank you to Top Knot. We have 5 VIP tickets available for upgrade or purchase now. Just go to the website and buy them. That's all I'm going to say. 5 tickets available. Buy them now. Ticket Spice. LeakCon2019. Do it now. We'll see you in less than a week.